Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is season 2 of Elevate Talk. We shot our podcast 1, episode 1, and I think it was a banger. I think you guys are going to like it. You'll see me, Shemar, and Elyse talk about all of the updates that's been going on with First All Club, his powerlifting, our marketing. So I think it's going to be a banger. You're going to learn a lot of things. And yeah, we're excited to be back and show you this. So watch. Okay, we are back
All right.
back.
with a logo. Elevate Talk. We're not sure what
New
episode this
location.
is. New location.
Season 2, right?
Yes, let's call
Yeah.
it season
We'll call
2.
it season 2. Done.
We've had a big break,
Yeah, huge
a
one.
whole 4-month-long break.
Yeah.
But we've been busy, to be
Yeah,
fair.
extremely.
So there's a lot to talk about today. We're just gonna make this like an update, season 2, episode 1,
Yeah.
update life
Very casual.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just
Get
roll
in.
it. There's no plan.
Yeah, we're just gonna get into it. All organic.
So
No scripts.
where we left off last time was back in November. That was the last time we recorded a podcast. So since November, Maaz, you want to kick off what has been going on here behind the scenes at First Health?
Okay. Since November, so I'm not sure if our podcast was before the warehouse sale or after, but that's something that I think kind of like took transition with everything. We organized our first warehouse sale back in November for Black Friday, which went awesome. We held it in here. Over 200 people showed up on that weekend too, which then opened up a lot of future doors, which we'll get into. Which I'm sure they already know, First
Yeah.
Health Club.
Yeah.
So moving into January 2023, February 1st, we got our keys. Actually, I should go back.
Yeah, go back. Kind of
Christmas-
explain like the thought process of like what happened at that Black Friday sale, Black
Yeah.
Friday
What kind of
sale,
ignited that
and
idea?
then it kind of created something in you.
Yeah, so the Black Friday sale went really well. Usually we're an e-commerce brand, so we do everything online, but this time we're getting a community locally and it's growing, so let's just test this out and see how it's gonna go. We did a lot of marketing. We went around a lot of gyms, we did demos, we hand out cards in malls, just a lot of just door-to-door guerrilla marketing, and then it turned out really good. So that kind of opened up my perspective of so funny how she's like brushing there, right?
Yeah, Andrea's our first self-made.
So after that went down, Christmas time, I noticed in the same lot where we have our distribution center, Unit 1 just somehow went up for lease. And it's 6,500 square feet. And I've always wanted a gym. It was my first job, but I wasn't sure like when that time is gonna come. So, and frankly, we didn't even have the finances to jump into this. So either way, I just saw it. I called them. I set up appointments just to see what this place is gonna look like, because you got to dream. And long story short, the following month, we all went and saw the place.
Yeah, that was funny.
And we just knew where everything is going to go. The store, the lounge, the smoothie bar, the fitting rooms, the men's section, the lockers, and the actual gym. So it just seemed right. And we found ways. We found finances and just
Went to work.
went to
went
work.
at it.
So February 1st, we got the keys to the place. It's June 6th today. It was 3.5 months of full construction. The whole team went at it. For the most part, it was all just us.
Yeah.
Igley and Matt took a good lead on constructing. We had some outside contractor work with like their dads and stuff as well. And then just all of us. So towards mid-May, May 14, we did our soft open. When we opened, we already had close to 200, I think it was actually 160-ish members.
150 to 60 members.
Yeah, we're about 260 members in right now and just over half capacity. And yeah, I feel like I can go so much into that, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like the base of what's been going on.
But it's pretty crazy to think like
Happened
that
so quickly.
We got the keys February 1st and just started construction, and even within a couple weeks of constructing the club, people were already signing up to be a member
Yeah.
of the club.
I think
which
the
was
cool
crazy.
part is a lot of people who come to the club now, a lot of their comments are, it feels like I've been like a part of this experience since day one, because we were so adamant on putting out content to show the progress like each week. So they're so involved with all the progress we made. So when we were finally open, everyone was just so, I don't know, just bought
Yeah.
into it. So it was cool.
We were so transparent with
Yeah.
like the behind the scenes of creating the space. Yeah, from like transition videos of like what it looked like to now, or like what's happening.
Yeah.
Like we were trying to do even like weekly updates on YouTube.
Just getting the
of-
community engaged.
Yeah, I get people excited,
Yeah, exactly.
and things just got so busy that we literally just I couldn't even keep up with the YouTube tours, and let alone like this podcast. Like that was such a far-fetched
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah,
There's
it's
so
not
much
like we
going
just
on.
gave up on
No.
this. It was a
No.
pause that was much needed because on all three of our personal lives, there was a lot going on,
Yeah.
which Shamar will get into on his side as well. But also, the overall brand was growing so fast, and
Yeah.
we still are, that we needed to just fully dial into like what's needed,
Mm-hmm.
which was opening up the club, which was growing our community, which was upping our revenue. And we did that. So now we can comfy sit
Yeah.
and actually talk about
Exactly,
this.
because if we
Yeah.
tried to just get into that during that time, we wouldn't be as like checked in. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of timing.
Plus, like half of our team, like with how dialed in Iggy and Matt were with the construction of the space at the time, I think our team was 6 people, or 7 people, and literally just taking 2 of those guys away from like the online business and putting into that other business they were creating, or we were creating, like it put so much more extra work on the rest of the team to like support and grow the online business.
Yeah.
And so we literally just were so stretched
Yeah,
for like work wise
really
that
spread thin.
adding in this podcast into the mix, like we couldn't even think about
Yeah,
it.
there were
We
also
want-
changes in like the back end of the podcast
Yeah.
too. We had editors in the back
Oh, yeah.
that are no longer working with us
Yeah.
for whatever reasons. You know, we dealt. So now we have a new team,
Yeah,
a
that's
better
true, too.
team, much better team.
Yeah.
And we also hired 2 more people in our current like FH team as well to help with the club and our customer service. So I just think we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Just like, what time is it right now? Like
Work hours.
3 p.m.
Yeah.
and we can actually like sit.
Yeah,
and
this is
talk.
so good.
You
because
know,
now
so-
we're be able to film this during our work hours, which just makes it easier on all of us.
Yeah.
Now we can kind of designate time to this, like throughout the week and throughout the months, and it can just be like our podcast day, similar to how we have like photo shoot days. It's just a lot of more organized now, so that's good.
For sure.
Yeah, and honestly, even if we just keep this setup as is for the most part and could blast like 2 to 3 a month during work hours,
Yeah.
whatever, then now we can do this.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And what's also cool too is through the community that we've been building at First Health Club, like there are a lot of really interesting people there that are training. So I feel like just from
Yeah, I
organic
agree.
conversations and
Yeah.
within the community, it'd be really cool to start bringing in like just people that are training.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
have so many good chats over there that we're like, hey, like let's record this conversation. Like you have a good insight into this or that or whatever.
yeah, and we've
So-
had people ask us too, like Sebastian and a couple other like fitness.
Yeah, yeah.
He's in like trading,
Yeah,
forest trading,
exactly.
or some of the other fitness influencers that are now at our gym, like that want to be a part of this. So it'd be cool to like, this is a good intro pod,
Yeah.
and then we slowly start bringing
Start
some
bringing on
guests
some
in as
guests,
well.
yeah.
And it's just more value for our community.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, like the people who are working out at our gym are gonna want to listen to this
Exactly,
as well.
yeah, yeah.
So it's just another avenue to
Have some
engage with our community.
Yeah, and have some
Yeah.
people who are already in the community more involved with the brand now, because now they have a platform like this. They can kind of tell their story, whatever they're doing with their life, their fitness journey,
Yeah.
whatever walk of life they're in, and just shed light on certain things that they want to talk about on here. So it's cool. It's cool that this
Anything
is
that's like
finally
positive,
flowing.
uplifting, informational,
Yeah,
business related, or even not, just like someone who has good mindset and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see like where this podcast
Yeah, or even
goes.
like mental health is a good subject this
Yeah.
year too. So many people are going through that. So somebody that's kind of, and I'm sure all of us have gone through that, where we
100%.
kind of overcome or are still overcoming. So we could bring somebody in who's really like went through hardships and where they are
Yeah.
now. There's so much that we can go into in
Yeah.
terms of like the club build out, like how we built it, like how do we get all these members, like what was kind of the marketing we did. But before I do that, like, kind of want to get into like what you've been up to
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Shemar,
So
what
background, I'm
happened?
gonna just give like a 20-second background.
sure.
Shamar's been he just finished his first competition powerlifting. He became a Canadian champion in
The bench
press,
Yeah.
and then also did top records in deadlift and squats 2 days ago. And there were
Yeah.
22 guys there, right?
Yeah. So I came first in pretty much everything.
Yeah, he's been coached or still in coaching by Jeff Nippard for the
Yeah.
past few months. So I kind of want to let you go into that. How did that happen? And the whole process.
Yeah, so that was funny. I just went over to the gym to film some content, and I would always kind of just see Jeff around, and we kind of build like an organic relationship because we just like the same music. And my whole thought process,
Wait, how'd you guys first meet?
we met at the gym. Yeah.
Like, did you go up to him initially, or did he
No,
just see
so
you?
how it kind of worked was a lot of people just would fanboy over him, and I just kind of kept my cool whenever I would see him. So we would always kind of make eye contact here and there. And then I remember there was one day where someone came up to him and asked him for a photo with him, and then he came up to me and was like, "Hey man, do you mind taking a picture for me with this
That's
fan?"
funny.
And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, man." I just took the photo for him, and then from there, I think he asked me something about how long I've been working out or made some comment, and then from there we just started talking about fitness, and I just asked him like, "Hey man, like I've seen your content. I've watched you for a while. Like that's cool that you even come here. I'm surprised you're even in this area." And then I remember we took a photo together, and I captioned it like Natty Kings as like a joke. And then after that, I just kept seeing him in the gym, and I would just kind of pick his brain a little bit about just things that he likes, not even necessarily fitness. And we would just talk about music and talk about like his fitness journey, talk about his YouTube channel, just talk about like just random things. I just wanted to make have an organic relationship with the
This is
dude.
over a course of like weeks.
Course
and
of
stuff,
weeks,
just,
yeah,
like, little
exactly,
combos.
yeah. And then the day I dropped my program, he was at the gym, and I remember I went up to him and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, what's your opinion on this?" I just showed him my program. He's like, "Oh, it looks really good." And
Oh,
then,
you showed it to him?
yeah, I showed it to
didn't
him.
know that.
I remember I took a video, I took a story, and I was like kind of like a selfie, and I was like, "Yo, Jeff, what do you think of this?" He's like, "It looks good, it looks good." And then after that, he followed me back on Instagram. The day I dropped my program, the goat of selling programs followed me back, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely
That's crazy.
super weird. And then months go by, and I went to the gym just to film a video with my videographer, and he was there, and I was in my head, I was just thinking it'd be cool if I just posted a video benching and Jeff Nippard spotting me. That was all I wanted.
You
Yeah.
asked him.
Yeah, so I just went up to him like, "Hey man, do you mind if you just spot me for this video? I just want to get it on Instagram, whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, man, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm cool." Like, he's super nice with people, and when it comes to photos and stuff. So he's like, "Sure." And then he saw what was on the bar, and then
What was on the
it was
bar?
like 4 plates on the bar, whatever. And he's just like, "Are you like, how much are you going for?" I'm like, "I don't know, bro. Maybe like 5, 4." And then I did it, and I remember like my videographer is in front of me, Jeff Nippard's behind me, and there's 4 or 5 on the bar. I'm like, "Okay, this is like an audition." It feels like I'm auditioning for something. So in my head, I'm like, this has to be hit very well. So I hit it for like 5, and then he kind of just asked me, "Are you actually natural?" And I said, "Yeah, I've never taken anything in my life." And then he asked me if I ever would consider powerlifting, and I said no because I was.
Oh, you said no.
I said no initially, and then he was asking me why not, and then I was like, "I don't know, man. Powerlifting's not really my thing. I'd rather bodybuild." And then he's like, "Okay, what if I were to coach you? What if I were to come to your meets and make content with you?" And I was like,
Wow.
"What the?
I
Okay,
know.
sure." I was like, "Yeah,
How can
sure,
you
bro."
deny that?
You know, why not?
Crazy.
So then from there, yeah, we just exchanged numbers. He sent me a program. Then I just followed it. And my mindset was just, how can I make this man's investment the
I
best
still
it can
remember
be?
that post, bro. You was like,
Yeah, and
he's gonna, like,
it was
coach you.
organic because I went there with my videographer to take content for just my page, and then he was there. And then when we were having this conversation, Methusen, the guy who took the video, took that photo. So we were actually having a genuine
Oh,
conversation.
Methusen met him.
Yeah, Methusen was the one who was there.
Oh.
So we were actually, that conversation was actually happening in that photo.
Whoa.
True.
Yeah, yeah. So while he was saying, "Hey, let's do this. I'll I'll coach you and I'll show you how things are going to work and how your training's going to change and all of this stuff. So he was kind of like downloading in my head. When this was happening, Methuselah was there taking photos. So that conversation actually got captured, which was cool. So that's why I
Yeah.
posted it. And then, yeah, and then from there, I just got to work. He sent me the program and I just followed. It's easy because it's good because I have something to just look at and do. I don't have to think as much, especially because what's going on right now, we're so busy. So to just, for my training to be kind of mindless is good because I can just do what I got to do here. Then after I finish here, I just do what I got to do on the program, and it just makes my life easier. So I like that aspect of it because my first time being coached ever.
So do you feel like that being coached by Jeff for the past few months, and also you've been bodybuilding for the past 10 years, and now going into powerlifting and like being like an athlete, has that like changed your mindset the past few months in any way in terms of like discipline and just how
Yeah.
you see training?
I think I learned a lot about myself, to be honest. That's what I'd say. I learned that I, when I put my mind to something, I can actually do like a lot because, you know, a lot of people look at me and say, "Oh, it's genetics. Oh, it's because of this. It's this." They give me all these things that kind of derail what I do. But when I really look at it, when you enter a competition like that, anything can happen. You have to cut weight. You have to make sure that you're doing things and the judges are approving of what you're doing. So considering I was able to go into that without any experience and do what I did, it just shows me that I can really put my mind and do. When I put my mind to something, I can do a lot. So I think I just learned the type of grit I have and the type of discipline I have, and just the mindset that I'm able to just get to when I have like a plan in front of me, and I just know that I can execute it now. So it's just a confidence thing I think that I've now obtained.
How was Jeff as a coach
I was
overall?
just gonna
He's
ask
solid,
that.
man.
Yeah.
I think because we have so much in common, and because our relationship it is obviously coach, athlete, client, but there is an overtone of friendship there. Like, like this, we're friends. So it's nice having someone who believes in you and motivates you and is so intellectual when it comes to this stuff, to the point where you don't need to question them. There's a confidence in him that I have because I know that what he's saying works. So I don't need to really deviate and try to get other voices, because that happens, man. When you're doing well and you start executing in a sport and making a name for yourself, other people are going to try to maybe poach you or give
Okay,
you
so
their
that was my point too. So obviously it's Jeff Nippert, so he's like pre-qualified.
exactly, yeah, 100%.
So I'm wondering, like, for our community though, because most people aren't gonna get this type of chance, or our
yeah,
opportunity,
for
right?
sure,
So,
yeah.
and a lot of them want to be athletes, whether they're powerlifting or just competing for a show in bodybuilding. Like, how do you guys think, like, how does one trust a coach? Like, because there's so many coaches out there. There's people that compete twice and become coaches. So how do you give your full trust to a coach and dial in exactly according to what they want you to
I would
do?
say if I'm gonna really get into shopping around for a coach, obviously I'm not, but if I were to do that, I would look at their body of work. And by body of work, I mean, who have they worked with and what have they achieved? Because that shows. So if you're a coach and you coach maybe 10 people and none of them have really done anything significant or won anything, or I don't know, whether it's powerlifting, their numbers aren't there, or whether it's bodybuilding, they haven't really placed, then maybe from a perspective of shopping out for a coach, maybe that might signify, okay, this person may not be the best. But then if you see someone who has a body of work of a lot of clients who are exceeding and doing well and achieving things in fitness and or whatever sport they are, then that's kind of, I would say that's more of a green flag to say, okay, this person clearly is able to change people's lives, and he has a multitude of people that are succeeding under him, or her.
It's like learning business from someone who's made like 50K
Yeah,
in his business. Like,
exactly.
well, why should I listen to
Why
you?
should you?
What have you? So I think people have to be smart enough to also like pre-qualify their coaches as well. Like, so many people come and pitch like, "Oh, I competed. Like, I can transform you." No, but like you said, what have you done? How many times have you done? Who's won under your belt?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
all that, and then will you actually like dial into who I am and
Yeah,
how I respond to things, or
exactly.
will you just give me like a cut and paste
Exactly.
cookie cutter type of plan that I have to follow?
Because at the end of the day, sure, you can have a coach that works with a lot of athletes and are succeeding, but at the same time, that same coach, regardless, has to make you succeed, and the steps that it takes for you to succeed may be different than all the people he's worked with. So you just got to see if that coach is really willing to work on with you from a more subjective basis, because at the end of the day, what works for Maaz may not work for me, and vice versa. So your coach has to be willing to work with you, because there's only you. There's only one you. So
I think what's really cool about your situation too is that you said Jeff wasn't coaching anyone at the time, right? So he like
he's done. He hasn't coached since 2015.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like right now, like he gave his full attention to you.
Yeah,
you
that was
know? Like,
solid.
that's so
Yeah,
cool.
that's like an opportunity that, again, that's like a God-given opportunity. I don't think a lot of coaches are only coaching one person, so you can't really
Let
expect.
alone Nipper.
Yeah,
Literally,
right. So
yeah,
most coaches have other clients that they're working with, so obviously that situation's different. But regardless, if you want to shop around for a coach, just make sure he's trying to connect with you on a even just a personal level, like, hey, how you doing, how you feeling. That's important too, because at the end of the day, if you and your coach are going to work together, you may work together for a while. Ideally, you'd want one person to kind of be there. You
sure.
ideally want like almost a lifeline coach, not just someone you work with once and then you're hopping around. I wouldn't suggest that.
Yeah, and your coach doesn't see you as another transaction.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's just money grabbing, like,
Exactly. You
you're
don't
not
want
gonna-
that.
That's not the
Yeah.
right person for you. So where is it going now? Now that the first championship is in.
Yeah, so
In the books.
that wasn't even the plan. It's actually funny that we hit the bench record, because that initially wasn't the plan. What happened was so there's 3 attempts in powerlifting. That's kind of how it works. And for each lift, you have 3 attempts. And each attempt, you obviously were going to slightly increase the weight. But the first attempt on bench, we put up 365, and that moved really well. And then one of the refs made a comment to Jeff and was like, "Oh, are you going to put some weight on the bar, coach?" And then Jeff was like, so then I think that kind of antagonized him, or kind of irritated him just a little bit, and then that's why we pulled trigger on going for the record,
Which was
454, just to make a statement. But that wasn't the plan. We were supposed to just do.
that's solid.
435,
How was you
but-
weigh?
I weighed in at 91 kilos, so that's under. So the weight class is 93, and I weighed in at 91.
How much did you start? Like you started cutting
cut-
back in like
I was
April, right?
99.
99.
Yeah, I
remember
was like
that.
225. So I lost a lot of weight, but the strength went up. So
Because I feel like a lot of people when they're cutting and they lose weight, like they feel like they lose their strength too. So
yeah, I think
kind of navigate that.
I think with me, because I've never really put my foot forward into specifically training for powerlifting, despite me losing weight, I was still able to gain strength because I've never done a powerlifting program before. So that the powerlifting program is designed for you to gain strength. So the fact that it was so new to my body, irregardless of the weight going down, I was still able to gain strength. I think
That's
that's
so
kind of what it was.
interesting. Because every time I cut, like, I feel like my strength drops by
Yeah,
like 20,
but your
25.
training style is the same. So it's like you're 220, and your training style is like this, and then you get to what, I don't know, maybe 210, but your training style is still the same. Versus me at 225, my training style was like this, and then we did something completely different. Now my training kind of 180s. I'm training like this. So despite me losing weight, because this style of training is so specifically meant for me to gain strength, it just worked. So
Yeah.
despite the weight loss, it just worked. So I think, and also for me, I'm not really accustomed to training as frequently as I was for this prep. So I think that helps, because my body's getting so used to the barbell movements now. Whereas before it was just strict bodybuilding style, which was kind of more lenient,
Hypertrophy.
more hypertrophy, and also more lenient because I'm in control of my training. I kind of work out when I want to work out. I go to the gym when I want, but now I have to adhere to him
So you
Yeah.
were staying consistent with your lifts.
because I have no
and-
choice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then that helped you just
Yeah.
overall keep that strength.
And that's one thing I learned about, being coached by someone, was you have to kind of give them the wheel and let them kind of be in the driving seat of your training, which was not scary because obviously it's Jeff Nippard, but it was weird at first because initially I was so used to just going to the gym when I wanted to, training how I wanted to, eating how I wanted to, and then now that's not in my hands anymore. So that was weird at first because I can't eat what I want to eat. I can't eat how much I want to eat. I can't train the way I want to train, but it worked because now look, so it was worth it. So
Solid,
it.
bro. I'm
yeah,
proud of you, man.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
awesome.
Honestly.
yeah. It was a cool experience. It definitely taught me discipline and definitely taught me how to get a plan, stick to it, execute it, and you
Yeah.
can basically use that formula in so much other areas of your life.
Also, it's weird like how things plan out as well because since you started with us, I
Yeah.
feel like if the opportunity didn't come to you then because you weren't ready for it. You had to come in, leave your old life, progress in this new role here because we're also like fast
Fast
growing.
pace and everything is execution.
Yeah, you're transitioning, you're growing, and then when you were the built
I
enough,
was the right man.
yeah, as the right man, that
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah,
landed,
yeah.
and then you were ready to
Yeah,
execute on
yeah.
that.
Had this maybe happened, I don't know, a year
6 months
ago, I
ago,
probably, I don't know. I don't
Maybe
know
you would
if
have passed up on the opportunity.
maybe
Or
I
you
would have
just
passed up, or
went,
maybe the outcome wouldn't be the same, or maybe during that camp, I like to call it, I maybe would have given up. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
exactly,
know.
yeah.
for
I
sure.
don't know. There's so much other things involved that could have deviated me from where
Well,
I am now.
here, this is a good example because you're constantly coming in, you're testing new things, we're pushing you into new roles, there's new tasks, you're disciplined, disciplined, disciplined.
Yeah, yeah.
You're hitting. It's like almost like a program,
It
you know?
is.
And
That
then
you give me.
after, kinda,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
sort
So
of, yeah.
after many months of hitting that program successfully, you make mistakes, you learn, you grow, then that new thing comes in and you're just that much. And I
Yeah.
think like
And I transitioned that mindset to that.
yeah, and First Up Club was the exact same thing because we were just talking about the other day that it took me a year and a half of supplements to open up clothing. It took me 3.5 years of clothing to open up club, which then we opened in 4 months.
Yeah.
You know, you
See,
just get
yeah,
better.
you get better and you're more now the process is more concise.
Yeah,
It's faster.
It's so much
too.
faster
yeah.
because
So
had you tried to open club 2 years
4 years ago,
ago,
it
it's
just
were
not.
you the
wasn't.
right Maaz? Like who
No,
knows?
I
Yeah.
could not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But you were the right Maaz now.
Yeah,
And you had the right mindset and you also had the knowledge
and the right
and the
team
right
or
team.
coach, whatever.
Yeah. So now it
Yeah,
just works.
crazy how things work out.
It's timing, man.
Yeah,
But also with that, people need to develop patience because at the end of the day, like look where I'm at now. It took a while for me to get here. It took you a while to open your own gym, but you could have given up 3 years ago because there's obviously some, factors that came in that could have
there's
indicated.
always factors that make you
Yeah,
want to quit.
exactly. But you didn't, and then now look, you're kind of getting to enjoy the fruits of your labor of pushing through that thought of quitting because now you have a gym. Now we have a gym. Yeah, now you have a team. You never
There's
quit.
like 10 of us.
Yeah.
10 or 11 of us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And there,
that's-
bro, there was times during that, I'll be honest, the training that I was going through, I was like, bro, why am I doing this? This is so hard. This hurts. I'm lifting so heavy all the time, coming in the gym so frequently. I was why in my head sometimes you get those thoughts like, why am I even doing this? And then you fast forward through days and days of just battling through the thought of quitting, and then now look what
Yeah.
happened. So yeah.
So, how would you compare that to your role at First Health in the past 4 months in terms of marketing and launching this whole First Health Club campaign versus how you were? Because we did this pretty quick and
So
you did this
quick.
very quick. So, how did you kind of dial into this versus doing our campaigns like 2 years
Before?
ago?
I don't know. I feel like that with this, the club just felt like the next natural progression of the brand. Like I know for years, like you've always talked about like your dream of owning a gym and a store and even having a smoothie bar. And even when we said goodbye to the supplement side of the business, I know you had always said like at some point you'd like to dabble into that again. So even with the smoothie bar there at the club, like I feel like I could see that happening again too in the near future, but it just felt like the natural progression of the brand. And so I feel like with Igley and Matt kind of out handling like the build out, I feel like you and I especially really had to like lead the whole team when it came to like the marketing and like the product launches and overall everything. And it was, we just took everything week by week. I feel like every week it was like something new. Okay, what are we putting our focus into? I feel like we moved way faster than we ever have before because we really had no choice. Before, I feel like back when you brought me in full time 2 years ago, I feel like we were so like we would still move fast then, but I feel like everything was kind of like willy
Figure it
nilly.
out,
Yeah,
like,
you're just like, yeah, I guess we'll do this.
test this,
We'll try
test
this.
that.
We've always done a lot of testing, and we still do to this day. But I feel like we kind of became more dialed in, like from the content side of what type of content people really want to see. And we still test that again to this day, but kind of figured out exactly what we should be focusing on in terms of just like expanding the reach for the brand as well as what's engaging for people online. Even from the product side too, I feel like you dialed in a lot more on what consumers want. I mean, obviously, we got to this point from those earlier initial products too. So there was, not to say there's anything wrong with those ones, but just like what current market demands are and stuff like that. I think you've done a really good job of just nailing down what the consumers want, listening to what our customers want. And we just literally took everything week by week and just moved so fast.
I think that's a good point that you said in there, and I agree with that. Like all of us, it's self-awareness and just like what the market is. So the faster you know what's working, whether it's in your training, whether it's in making products or the right marketing campaigns, then we can just keep testing things, fail forward, and then try. So now I think in this stage of 4 years into building this, we've made a lot of mistakes to know not to repeat all that, which leaves us small room of things that are working and a little bit of room of things that maybe still aren't working. So I think that probably helped you a lot more into pushing out the right campaigns this past 4 months to promote our
100%.
club
Yeah.
versus testing this, testing which we know isn't going to
Exactly.
work.
I think the procedures that we take now are more
Strategic.
concrete.
And
We
concrete.
know this works. Let's repeat this same strategy in this area now.
Yeah.
Because all the testing that we've done has led us to a way of doing things that just works now. Now we know this is the way we're going to do this, so we apply it to this.
Yeah.
There's less testing necessary.
Yeah. And I mean, we still do test like certain concepts, and sometimes like you'll put so much effort into a piece of content or something and you think it's going to do well and it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think I have that less now where usually I have a good idea of like this is something that's
And
gonna,
it works.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna fly, and it usually does. But yeah, I feel
Which
like
is usually like community content.
community content, some funny humor we've been dabbling in a lot ever since like the fall of last year. I feel like we tapped into a new type of content. Everything obviously everything always is fitness related, clothing related,
Community
within
related.
community
Yeah.
related, but it's all within that sphere.
Yeah.
So whether it's, we're showing products, asking people in the community things, I don't know.
I
different
feel
funny
like we
humor
always
things.
showed products, but it's like how you show products that's the main difference. Because back then, and things always change too, because this would have worked back in the days where we're in the studio, we're launching new products, we're showing different transitions and cuts of our fabrics and what the style looks like. But now I feel like when we just not even go too hard into the products, when we're launching new things, like sure they're on the site, but it's just our community wearing it and making funny memes and just like engaging
Yeah.
with each other.
And that stuff works.
Automatically, all those products sell more.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're not pushing the products
Yeah.
anymore.
And then ultimately that becomes the identity now, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that method what we're using that works?
And it's really cool too, actually. And this was the original intention when we created the space, First Health Club, the gym, was that we wanted to create a safe space for people to be able to create content themselves, film, record. And it's so cool now that we go into the gym and as members, people have access to free tripods in the gym as well. And every day there's more and more people renting
Yeah, I
out the
love seeing that
tripods.
too.
and testing out that same type of content, and they're actually going out of their way and creating their own fitness pages now in our
Yeah.
gym, creating content, wearing our clothes, and it's just
So many fitness
so
pages
crazy.
start here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good to
I
see.
We
was
only-
actually just looking at
yeah.
our tag posts on First Out Clubs, and there's like so much going on. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I feel like the response from that in itself has been just even more mind blowing than like everything. You know,
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
people
yeah,
create, people
yeah.
are literally changing.
Just seeing the community
you
so
know.
involved and engaged and so pleased with the space and just so willing to make content and just ultimately stepping outside of their comfort zone, because now they're
Yeah.
making their own fitness pages and they're posting more fitness related content, and it's just nice seeing that we could provide a facility for people to
Do
enjoy and get out of their comfort zone and do something new and get
Yeah.
more, basically start their fitness journey.
And that's the
sure.
crazy part here. I fully agree with you too. The reason this gym like even existed is because when we started dialing into like, wait a second, we should switch up our content and more community content because that's what the algorithm picks up on,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
also it's
and
more
like the gym
relatable.
content, yeah.
Yeah, so then we started doing it. We're getting day passes at this gym. We're getting a day pass at that gym. And we started creating content in different gyms.
Yeah.
But then we ran into a new problem, which not every gym allowed us to do that.
Yeah.
I literally got poked. My staff stopped. Like, do not make content here.
Yeah.
Even though like some of those videos were getting 500,000 or over views.
Still, and it's
Promote,
promoting the gym ultimately.
promoting the gym. So I'm just like, okay, well then fuck it. I'm just gonna make my own gym.
And
Yeah.
they're so,
So-
old-fashioned in their mindsets with things. Like they
Yeah.
don't really realize the potential that what
Social
they were
media.
doing, in their gyms, like how well that
Benefits
could-
them, yeah.
benefit them.
Yeah. So then we said, sure, let's make this gym, and from our fixing our own problem, so we can push out more content in the community. We actually solved the community's problem.
Community's problem,
And now there's a
yeah.
space that
Yeah.
we make content, they make content, and we make content together.
Yeah.
While they're rocking our
Yeah, and you
apparel.
have people coming up to you or whoever, the staff, maybe saying you guys have really done something great for the community, and that's such a good
Yeah.
response to see.
I legit did not realize that
Yeah.
part building.
And you have people who are just so willing. Remember, we had one member saying, "Hey, man, if you guys want to borrow my PS4 for the lounge, like I'd be willing to give it to you for free." And that's
Like
crazy.
people
Yeah.
It's
want
just
to contribute.
how willing they are to contribute to this community or this space just shows that we're really impacting their lives in a good way.
That's
Yeah,
I truly think we added on a positive thing into our community.
yeah, we did 100%.
yeah.
Opened up a new space where we can all be together. And
Yeah.
honestly, like maybe in states there's more of that, but in Canada or Ontario specifically, like we lack that big time.
Yeah.
Like, there's some commercial gyms around. There's a couple of gyms that are more in like the bodybuilding or personal training type of, but like there's no space where it's like lifestyle content creators, fitness influencers, and also just fitness enthusiasts where
Yeah.
we just encourage each other
With that,
to like
that
go to
wholesome
court, bro.
inclusivity, yeah, it's nice.
And welcoming.
Welcoming
like, that's the
and
biggest thing, I feel
cordial, saying hi. It's
Yeah.
just, it's nice.
Yeah,
For
and even
sure.
if we step away, I'm confident that the community is good enough that they'll have each other.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
I've seen that in the gym so far. I literally see people in the gym becoming friends.
Yeah.
like, training together.
And then now they're making videos together.
Yeah,
It's-
making different
it's cute.
videos, and it's not all about like the content per se. I know we talk about that a lot, but it's the content is just one aspect of it. Really, I think it's overall just the energy in that space is just so much more
for sure. And
positive
that's-
and welcoming and. Just it's different when you're in a space where you get to see people actually taking their fitness seriously and
Yeah.
and then they're also like nice people, you
Yeah.
know, and welcoming.
And when I did the whole interviews during our grand opening, that was the same response that I was getting. Hey, what's your opinion on the space? I really like the community. I really like the energy here. I really like the people here. That was the response. It was a redundant response I was getting from everyone. So it just goes to show that when you have a community that just is really encouraging and nice to each other, it's just going to expand, you know, because that's universally appealing. And people who are nice to you and encouraging and have your back, everyone wants to be around that, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't? So, yeah.
Maz, are you happy with like the overall response? Is it around
So happy.
what you
Yeah,
thought?
yeah.
And I'm so happy even just like listening to you too, because I've seen the transition, you know, like And like, if I can just stay quiet and listen to my team talk about all this, like, there's no
That's a
more.
win,
It's
right?
a huge W, bro. That means
Yeah.
that I cannot be here, but you
Yeah.
guys still will pass on the right message,
Oh,
and we'll still have the
100%.
best intentions for the community. So if it's working within our own circle of team,
Yeah.
you know it's gonna be working with our
Yeah.
community as
And
well.
people can feel that when they come here, how dedicated we are to the brand, how driven we are, how much we care. And I think that is almost contagious because now the members are almost behaving the same way. Like we don't really get messes here. Everyone kind of cleans up after themselves.
They're
Everyone's
respectful.
respectful.
Yeah,
So I
Yeah,
think I think ultimately that does start with like the staff though.
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Leading by
Yeah.
example.
Yeah,
In many ways,
exactly.
like we post that type of silly content and whatnot on our page, and then they
Yeah.
feel comfortable enough to
Now,
do it,
Yeah,
you
that's so
know?
true.
And then even from like us, we take care, we respect our space. They do the same.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
friendly and inviting to them.
Yeah.
They're friendly and inviting to other members. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
a
It's passed on.
perpetual.
yeah, literally, it's just a cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now if I go and start poking people, like, bro, don't be recording at my gym.
Yeah,
What's the vibe here?
yeah,
Everything's gonna
Yeah,
change
yeah,
instantly.
So
yeah.
what's next for First Health, Moz? Now that we've got this club set up, we've got we've got this club set
This
up.
guy.
We obviously still have our distribution here in Unit 5. We're still out here over here. Where you kind of see like the shift of the brand,
Um,
or just what's even next on your agenda?
We gonna talk about the drops, or we gonna leave that? Because this guy has some heat.
there's so
This
many
guy has
drops,
some
like,
heat, bro.
so now that this like club is well open, we're about half capacity already as well. Like, I definitely want to keep pushing our community and max out the true potential of our club in terms of how many members we have, day passes, come and experience the club, as many people without getting too busy, obviously. Um, so apart from just maximizing the true potential of the gym, the store, the smoothie bar, that experience, I think I really want to dial in, and I've already started to, and back into First Salt Apparel, because I still think that this is where the real shark is, where we can actually globalize and scale this brand. So pushing out tons of new products. My goal is to be dropping like 40 to 60 products a month. So, and not just in active wear as well.
Just
There's so much more in activewear that we can still do. So keep pushing the women's side, but also like dial in more into the men's side. So there's a lot more of men's new
Yeah.
products coming up. But then also accessories, also shoes, also
Shoes.
gym accessories, not just clothing accessories. We have knee sleeves, we have
Yeah,
belts.
yeah.
I just want, and then also even like headphones. Like, I'm probably giving like too much spoiler here, but like it's just things that we're working
First
on.
Health takeover.
I
yeah,
want this place to be the club to be a one-stop shop, but I also want First Health online or in person to be a one-stop shop. That if you're
okay,
a person of fitness, it's your lifestyle. You're a person who goes to the gym. So whether you're dressed a certain way, or the things you eat, or the hats you wear, or the headphones you, or the shoes, we want to dial into every single
yeah.
thing.
So we can take care of you in every area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
So this whole year we're going to be spending
Yeah,
on maximizing the club and maximizing pushing as much products as we can, good products in the market.
yeah, and quality.
And
True.
I'm sure we'll make some products that might not fly with everybody, and that's okay. But this is the time to really scale and test as many products as we can to our community.
Yeah, yeah.
That's sick.
That's solid. And I think it's really cool too that we have a legitimate clothing store because just I think it's nice getting to just play around with the displays of stuff and even just seeing people's in-person reaction to some of the new merch. I think is cool because before everything was just
Online.
strictly
You don't
online.
see-
You don't really
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
them respond like, "Oh my gosh, this is so nice." I personally haven't seen it.
Same.
Maybe you guys, but I didn't see. So now that we have that, and if we drop something and we throw it in the store and we display it nicely, getting to see their genuine reaction to it, it's nice to see that. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see
You-
like where we go for even just
Yeah.
for the rest of this year, like how much has changed from January to now. Who knows
Who
what's
knows?
gonna happen
I
within the
know.
next 6 months. So
so many people are already bought in. Maaz was saying that his his dad went to the supplement store and that was I don't know if you want to share
Yeah,
that, but I think that's
Maz, share that
insane.
story.
That's really
funny.
cool, man.
So yeah, my dad went into a supplement store the other day, in another city as well, and he just calls me right after. He's like, "Oh, I was wearing your Leo tee, the one that you're wearing," and he's like, the guy, the owner in there was like, "Oh, you know of this brand for Health?" And he's like, starts laughing. He's like, "Yeah, it's my son's brand." And he's like, "No way!" He's like freaking out, like, "Really?" Like, sure. It's like, I know. It's like that guy who like started off like as supplements 5 years ago, and then went into apparel, and then just opened up his gym. It looks so cool. Like, I want to go visit. So I was like pretty like surprised about that
Yeah, that's
myself, dude. 'Cause I've
crazy.
never
That's
been to
awesome.
that.
You never been there before.
Never been there. I don't know who the person is, but and we just opened. Like, we're a few weeks old. Like,
Yeah, I know. It's
it's
true.
it's crazy when you're so dialed in. Like, all of us, we're in these walls. We're
You
building.
don't realize
You don't realize what's actually
Yeah.
happening. Like,
outside, over there, here. Ah, it's so
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Because you're so dialed in on what's next or whatever,
Yeah,
what you're
it was a
doing.
cool moment
Yeah.
that I think my dad got to experience too, and it was nice seeing
That's
my
awesome,
dad.
bro.
Yeah, that's so nice.
That's really nice to hear, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's so crazy. Just like you were saying, there's so many things. I think Maz and we were talking about this the other day, how there's just like a snowball effect of this brand. And I don't know, we are so dialed in with what we're working on day to day that sometimes we forget about all the other little machines we've created that are doing external work that we
Yeah.
don't see.
word of mouth especially.
Word of
true,
mouth,
so
yeah,
true.
other people for the first time stumbling on our page, someone
Yeah.
gets their first order.
Yeah.
I don't know, anything.
Even some
you
of the
know?
models that come in, they're
Yeah.
so thrilled that they're telling people too.
Yeah,
so-
or even people like they see someone wearing us at the gym and then they're like, "Where did you find this brand?" You know, like it's just so crazy, and I think we're all just so grateful to see how people have responded to us, and we're all just out here wanting to be positive influences in this space,
Yeah.
and you want to create good products, and we want to post funny content and like inviting content as well, and we just want people to experience First Health as we do, you know. So it's just really cool to see that.
We're just happy to experience this.
Yeah.
I'm equally as happy, like, to just be a part of this and
Yeah.
grow it every day.
Be a part.
No, I'm not even
Yeah.
kidding. Like, even though I own this brand, like, I genuinely just show up to be a part of this, like, insane project that
Yeah.
we're all working on. And I'm grateful that I get to lead it every day. And I never wake up like, oh my God, I need to make this much money. I wake up with, like, I want to scale this brand. I want to scale the community. I want to drop more heat products. Like, I get to be my most creative self in
Yeah.
here. And there's the process.
You gotta express yourself and really be you.
Yeah,
through
and
this.
this place lets me do that. So
Yeah.
I'm already like in a big W.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good, bro.
I feel like that's a good space.
I feel the
for,
same
like-
way though here.
I'm
be honest.
happy to hear
Yeah.
that, man.
Yeah.
You guys are killing it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I feel like that's a good spot to kind of even like leave the episode. for
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was pretty
That's
solid.
a
That was
solid
good, man.
update. I feel like we've kind of dabbled into a lot of different updates that we've been doing
Yeah.
for the last few months, and these are more conversations that we can expand on in
Yeah,
future
100%.
episodes, but kind of gives you guys a
Okay,
little
then we've been up
insight,
to.
So
yeah,
just
into
sink
what
your
we've
Yeah,
been
with this
doing.
boy has
Yeah.
been up to.
Yeah.
You've
And-
been up to.
Yeah, I feel, yeah, there's so much more we'll dabble into in the future. But yeah, I know we've been kind of radio silent for the last
Yeah.
6 or 7
Now
months.
you know why.
So
Yeah.
now
We're
you know
ghosting.
why.
Oh, we didn't go.
Lazy.
We didn't leave you on red.
Yeah, yeah, we're back. We did leave them all right, but now we're back.
Yeah.
It's like one of those
Yeah.
4 months later, they'd be like, "Hey, you
Hey,
up?
how you doing?
Yeah.
You still want to hang out?
You still want to hang?" So hopefully you still want to hang with us. This is season 2, episode 1, and we'll catch you in the next episode. If you have
Okay.
any suggestions of what kind of stuff we should be talking about, maybe they picked up some points from this that they're like, go more into this,
Yeah,
then
true.
we could definitely go more into that as well. But we're happy to be here. We're happy to have this Elevate Talk sign right above us.
Yeah.
And we're happy to just get back into
Yeah.
recording.
And if you're local, come by the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3135 Universal Drive, Saga.
Okay.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
guys.
Bye bye.
No mercy for you, no worries for you. That Game of Thrones, go Cersei on you. I flipped the script, I roll the dice. Don't fall asleep, cause I'm working nights. Hey, you tryna shut me